Okay, alright guys, welcome to your first PDO tutorial. I guess I have found an article which talks about PDO from php.net. So PDO stands for, it is a PHP data object that is kind of like data access abstraction layer that you can access data through any database technology that you are in. For instance, if you have a MySQL I, or if you have MySQL Lite, or if you have MySQL, you can just access your data whether any kind of technologies, database technologies that you are involved with. Okay, so it works alongside PHP 5.1 as Perl extension like PHP 5.0. PDO works perfectly out there. Okay, so to get started, first of all, you have to know what kind of technology that is installed in your device. It might be MySQL Lite, it might be MySQL I, or it might be MySQL. Okay, so to find which driver or which technology is installed in your computer, you're gonna do such kind of things. For sake of simplicity or for sake of a demonstration, I have created a database which is called Mama here, and I have made a table which is called a book, okay, which consists of the following rows and columns. I have one record which have book ID, book title, book author, and a date published. Okay, so to come here and see what technology is installed in my device, I've just installed XAMPP here. XAMPP comes with MySQL Lite and MySQL I and MySQL. So if I came here and make a PDO, and if I use scope resolution operator because I want to find a specific method, then this method is gonna be get. It's gonna be in a small letter. Get available drivers. Okay. So this method will allow you to find which drive or which database technology is installed into your computer. So this is gonna return an array. So to display my results here, I'm gonna use a print r statement. And then if I came here and refresh my browser here, probably I'll get results. To come to my project, I'm gonna use localhost. My folder name is gonna be PDO. Then this array is gonna return two values. Okay, the first one is called MySQL and the second one is called MySQL Lite. Okay, so I have got MySQL and MySQL Lite installed into my computer. Okay, so the other thing is gonna be I'm gonna show you how to connect to a database or how to connect to your server using the PDO language or the PHP data object. Okay, so to do that, I'm gonna use some variable. For instance, this variable is gonna handle all of my queries, it's gonna handle all of my connections, or it's gonna hold all of my things that are I try to manipulate. Okay, so to do this, I'm gonna instantiate a PDO object. Okay, by using a new word, I'm gonna instantiate a PDO object there. Then I'm gonna pass the following attributes. The first one, I'm gonna pass the technology that I'm using. Here I'm using a MySQL, so I'm gonna write MySQL, and then by making a colon, I'm gonna write the host name. For most of you guys, your host name is gonna be 127.0.0.1 if you are using on local machine, or if you are uploading your site to somewhere else in a server, you're gonna call your server IP address there. Okay, for my case, I'm using XAMPP. I'm using a local machine, so I'm going to use 127.0.0.1. Okay, and then by having a semicolon, I'm going to write DB name, which stands for the database name. Then you write the database name that you want to connect with. For here, I have a database name which is called Mama here, so I'm going to write my database here. Then after passing this thing, we're going to write two credentials. The first one is going to be the username and the other one is going to be the password. For my case here, I'm using root, so I'm going to leave the password blank. Okay, so if I came here and if I try to refresh my page, nothing happens. Okay, so if I intentionally made a mistake, for instance, if I cancel T here and if I come to refresh my page here, then it's gonna make a fatal error. Okay, so there is an exception handling mechanism in a PDO programming language or a try catch statement. So for instance, if I want to catch an error, I'm gonna write try. What did I want to try? I want to connect to a database. Then I'm gonna catch an exception here. If something fails to happen, I'm gonna catch an exception here. So what will be that exception? First, I have to set an attribute for this handler. Okay, I name this handler as tensei here. So I'm gonna write tensei here, and then I'm gonna set attribute. Okay, then the attribute is gonna be attr error mode. Okay, then I'm gonna use comma here, and I'm gonna use a PDO, and I'm gonna use a scope resolution operator. Then I'm gonna write error mode exception. Okay, so I'm gonna catch this error by typing PDO exception. Sorry guys, exception. Then I'm gonna make a variable which is gonna allow me to handle this exception. Okay, so there are different things. For instance, like you can echo out to the user that there is a problem or something like that. For instance, if I intentionally made a mistake, if I misspell my database here, so this thing is gonna pop out. Okay, so like if I came here and if I refresh my page, it's gonna say there is a problem here. If I want to get that particular error that occurs, which is not good for a runtime environment, but like if you are developing that, you have to know the error, but it's not good for a runtime. But if you want to see that particular error, you can use get message function, which is built in PDO, and then you can echo out this thing. Okay, so if I came here and if I'm trying to refresh my page, it says unknown database, which is called something. But you don't have to, for when you are hosting a website, you don't have to display like a friendly error to the users. Okay, because some hackers may play with you. Okay, but for a runtime environment, yeah, just you can use such kind of things. So on the next tutorial, I'm gonna show you something. I already show you how to connect to a database. Then we already covered the error handling thing. So on the next tutorial, we're gonna see how to fetch data. There are different ways. So till we meet on the next tutorial, keep on liking, keep on subscribing. Peace and love. Ciao.